again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Gas-o-Loon. Another week has passed and 4 boxes of tasty off-road upgrades have arrived from our favorite dealer, Lingvalls, Gävle. Remember, if you're in Sweden, you should buy your KTM from Lingvalls in Gävle. Let's just open them and also tell you what we are going to do. There's a clinging sound here, if you can hear it. Okay, let's see. It's an extra rim. You know what? When I had my 1190 Adventure R, a bike that I was generally very happy with, I had one problem, and that was sometimes I wanted to do some on-road riding and wanted some good on-road tires with good wet grip and we can really lean on asphalt. And the next weekend I wanted to go off-roading and maybe even trails and stuff, and you needed a knobbly tire, or at least reasonably knobbly, like a TKC 80 or the new Anakee Wild that I will try. And my friend, he bought a new set of rims, and that was really a good thing because you can change it so easily instead of changing tires, which is, I mean, you can do that if you have to. Another really good thing about the rims, this is obviously the the rear rim, is that the entire drive part of it with the sprocket, you just take that out from the other tire and put it on here. Very practical. This is probably my friend's Akrapovic muffler. This is not going on my bike, but anyway, let's see how it looks. See which one looks best, which one sounds best. I guess you will soon find out in another video. Also very nice looking indeed. Which one you like best? Well, it's up to you. The price is about, I think the Remus part is actually slightly cheaper, a couple of €100 cheaper, but and this one is bigger. It also got DB killers, but apparently there are no screws here, so you can't refasten them as easily as on the Remus. Okay, we should also weigh it, and when I see the weight difference here, I can see that this actually weighs 4.6 kilos, so it weighs considerably more than the Remus unit, which weighed only 2.8. Okay, I guess this might be the other rim, the front rim. Here we go, complete. All these, I guess, some mixed goodies. Okay. These are for the ABS units, I think, ABS sensors. These are my brake discs, obviously. These are stickers from Lingvalls and some screws. This is how you put it. And since this is a front wheel, we need the ABS sensor for the front too. It's coming on like that. I'm always quite nervous when I'm working with the tires and brakes and stuff. If you get something really wrong, it can end up in a tragedy, so double check. A thread lock on all of these screws, you don't want them to come loose. Getting a spare set of rims like this is it's very expensive. I hope it will be worth it. I think it will cost you around 1,500 to 2,000 euros with tires and everything. Hi again, change of environment. We're down in the basement. It's raining heavily outside. So what is going to happen now is these are the Anakee Wild tires. that I bought specifically for these rims, and this is supposed to be a competitor to the TKC 80, sort of a 50-50 tire, but it's supposed to be more durable and also better in the wet, Michelin promises. I don't know whether that is true, we will have to try it. But anyway, these two tires now, 190 21-inch and this 150 18-inch, are going on these rims, and that is usually pretty hard work. I don't do this so often, so it usually takes me a while before it's finished. It's sort of like a wrestling match, but it's good to practice, because sometimes you have to do it out in the bush when you got a flat tire, and then it's good to, well, to have done it recently anyway. Some soap fluid here on the edges can help. Of course, there are professional stuff for this, so I'm sure you can get, but I think this works pretty okay. Please take care so that you see that the tire is oriented in the right direction. Okay, we start by putting this tube into the tire, so that it is in there before you try to put it on the rim, otherwise that will be very hard. I'm sure there are other different ways of doing that. There should be zillions of instructions on the internet, and many of them are probably better and more instructive, but this is the way I do it. Oh, this is hard work. More physical than off-road riding. That was surprisingly easy to get the front wheel where it should be. I always use these heavy-duty tubes, and everything is really to avoid a flat tire, because it's so inconvenient when you're in the middle of the forest, like. So now we give the rear wheel the same treatment. Make sure you tape over all these screws. The bad news about the rear wheel is, like, you know, it's like going on a having a match against the infamous Alexander Karelin from Russia, the biggest and baddest wrestler ever known. And yeah, we'll see whether I survive this or not. Being a firm believer in a lube, yes, lots of lube before we enter the final round here. Using the knees can be good in the beginning. Okay, final round for Mr. Karelin. Ah, I got you! How nice is that? And now let's put some air in the tires. How much that should be is, I guess, a constant debate. On an enduro bike, I guess it's like 1.5 kilos or something like that. Maybe 1.5. On these tires, on the road tires, I have 2.8 bars rear and 2.4 in the front. I don't know how these will handle. Let's say we go for around 2 kilos with these, but I'm not sure whether they will handle very well on the asphalt then. We'll see how it works. Sometimes you have to pump them up to like 4 kilos before the bead really settles. It often settles with a bang. Now it comes. Ah, did you hear that? That was the last tire settling now. Okay, and we now also have to balance the wheels, since there will be a lot of asphalt and fast gravel road riding too, and then you really have to balance them, otherwise you will go crazy. So I use this tool. So now we mark the place where this has been settling down, and we'll see how much out of balance it is. It needs quite a bit. So now you try with more and more weights, and now I have seemed to found a decent equilibrium. Use gasoline or bensin in Swedish to clean the area where these should stick and be glued. That should do it. Okay everyone, the entire purpose of having these extra wheels over here is of course that I shouldn't have to change tires every time I want to go off-road and then switch over to on-road tires again. I want to have sort of two sets. When I had to change tires, it was a matter of hours before everything had been changed before. But now I hope to get the switching time down to a couple of minutes, and we'll see how long time it takes. And I'm starting this now. Finished. Okay, where are we? I don't know if you can see, but it's 16 minutes, and I guess 10 minutes of these have been fiddling around with the back wheel, who didn't really want to enter its place because it was so narrow, but I would say 10-15 minutes. They look really purposeful, these Anakee Wilds. Hope they will be nice. I think I've tightened every screw now. You mustn't forget, when you try to do some things fast, everything is where it should be. So now I'm ready for off-road. That's all for today, guys. Pretty soon, of course, or obviously, we will do a thorough gravel and single track test with these tires on. Really looking forward to that. See you soon.